Like if this gray-haired guy is going to be active on TikTok, maybe I should, my spry young self should hop in.
Oh.
I like it. Not.
Pew, 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 pew,
So
pew.
that makes us
Shots fired.
one for
You want
Brandon.
to watch it together? Should I share my screen and we all watch and react together?
Sure.
Yeah.
Yes, please.
Oh man, one retweet.
That's
Rocking.
That was the jam.
Doing good on TikTok though.
One retweet.
Great.
And yes. Oh, great.
Okay, nobody worry because we're going to show you John's first solo TikTok a little bit later in the show. But how many retweets did you get up to, John?
Well, hold on, Felicia. You told me you would retweet it like that moment hours ago, and you still have not. Oh,
Yes,
yeah,
I
you did.
did.
Okay. Amy?
I gotta join TikTok. Give me a hot second.
Okay, fine.
No, retweet on Twitter.
Twitter.
Oh, I'm sorry. Yes, I'll read you on Twitter. I was on TikTok before too, and then I got off of it for a while, and I got to get back on it. So, okay, yeah.
I was going to let that slide, Felicia. You had to point it out.
Did you get off, Amy, because you thought that they were going to steal your information?
I did. And then Henry kept bugging me to watch a bunch of them, and I was like, I'm just taking this off for a hot second. So I digress.
Oh, man.
I need to join.
Well, hey, everybody. Thanks for joining us tonight. We are happy to be here with you.
All right, guys, let's get to a little bit of Chicago in 60. So the first day of the United Center's mass vaccine clinic will wrap up in about an hour with about 6,000 shots being distributed. Officials expect to vaccinate 180,000 people in its 8-week run. No shock if you drive around the city, Chicago has the third worst traffic in the nation, just behind Philadelphia. New York took the top spot. The inbound Ike from 294 to the Circle Interchange was ranked the busiest stretch in the United States. Surprisingly, Chicago was in second place in 2019. So yay, things are getting better. Also, Target is targeting a high-profile and expensive new address in Chicago, the soon-to-be vacant Macy's location in Water Tower Place. Cook County Treasurer and Water Tower neighbor Maria Pappas says that could be damaging for the area.
People come there because it's a destination. It's a destination that we've enjoyed our entire lives. And it may be coming to an end because so many stores have vacated, and it may be that there's no choice here other than Target. And that, I think, will kind of be a sad day for Michigan Avenue because it will change the character of what's happened there in the past.
Brookfield Properties, that's Target's owner, is not commenting on this just yet. But you know what? Things do change. And sometimes you got to kind of roll with the punches. I do agree with her that, it does change what Michigan Avenue has always been to people, but maybe it's time that happens.
I don't know. She's 1,000% right in everything she's saying, but to cover what you're saying, Amy, I don't want to hear that if I'm one of these people that has $1 million condo. I don't want to hear that. So I think that you're seeing a huge change going on right now in that Gold Coast kind of old town area. So many stores have left. Barney's isn't even there anymore. It is absolutely ridiculous. A lot of those restaurants, there's so much retail space available. I think, hey, those people need to relook some of those expensive homes that they have in that area because I think that the neighborhood is changing. A lot of people are eating in their own neighborhoods. When you think of Wicker Park and Bucktown, they're spending their time. People don't even feel like they have to go downtown anymore because there's retail and food and restaurants and things to do already in their neighborhoods. It's a different area.
And right here
what do you
on
want?
this thing.
Do you want an empty building? Like, I'd rather have a Target than an empty building. And who cares? There's a Cheesecake Factory on the Mag Mile. There's a Best Buy in the Hancock Center Plaza. There's a Benihana's in there too. Like, what are we doing? Target. Who cares? It's nice.
No.
Like, it's Macy's. It's not like it was like Neiman Marcus. And I don't even know if those are good brand names or not, but that's what I'm told. So like,
I just love that John chose to highlight those stores, and I would have highlighted Gucci, Louis Vuitton, Prada's a block off.
But you're making my point for me. I'm saying that, yes, you can have both of those things on the same street. Like, are we really going to stand? I mean, I get that it was the old Marshall Fields. Like, I understand the clocks and the window. That's fine. Make it pretty with a Target. I mean, Macy's, what are we doing here? Who cares?
I'm
I
with
look
you,
sad.
John.
Okay, restaurants keep on adapting to these ever-changing times through the pandemic, just trying to stay open, of course. Now that things seem to be moving towards reopening, some of the services that they offered may be a thing of the past. So Steak and Shake, a fast casual restaurant chain, I consider that fine dining, so I can tell the boss wrote that one. Steak and Shake will ditch its wait staff in favor of self-service kiosks. Of course, McDonald's has done that as well recently, but obviously the serving time, they used to come to the table too. And here in Chicago, some restaurants are considering going away, getting rid of tipping. They said the owner of Big Jones in Andersonville, I found this interesting. He said he got rid of tipping. He's been trying to do it for years and years, but obviously it's a hard system to break. But that he did it during the pandemic because, look, he had to keep his employees on some sort of wage system so they could actually make some money while things transition to more delivery and takeout. I can't wait personally until tips are out of the way for good. But Felicia, you run a restaurant. Well, what wouldn't you rather pay your staff the wage that they should earn, and then you don't have to worry about the tips?
So ultimately, because how do we simplify this? So ultimately, the cost is going to be put off on the customers
The owners.
because the profit margins for restaurants are so small. That's why they've had so much difficulty struggling during this pandemic, because the profit margins are so small. So restaurants, the current structure that we have, it has to operate off of people giving tips. Otherwise, we got to raise prices in order to afford the $15 minimum wage here in Chicago. And I frankly, if you're in a good restaurant, and I was a server too, but if you're in a good restaurant, you make more money than minimum wage. So some of these servers at some of these fine dining places, downtown, it's easy for them to make 60, 65, 75K a year. Easy.
Interesting.
Yeah, I wasn't thinking about the different tiers of restaurant dining. I think you're right, Felicia. Of course, yeah, because some people make careers or spend a large portion of their careers in the service industry in an effort to, climb up that ladder. However, I think for some of the smaller restaurants and smaller chains, the owners have to put it onto the customers. And I think if you lay that out in a menu that people can see that, they're like, okay, well, I'm not giving it to the server. It's the same amount of money I would have spent before. So I get it. But at least now the people that you employ are making a livable wage, something that they can count on every month. And that makes their lives easier. And I don't know, but in this day and age, when people want to help others, that would make me want to go to a restaurant like that more.
Yeah, I don't know. I think it's really hard because, like you're saying, there's different restaurants, different types, and everyone should do things differently or do whatever works for them. But the problem is this is a cultural thing. So you can't, it's almost like we all have to do it, all the restaurants have to do it or not. Because then you're going to be tipping on top of high prices because you feel bad because it's culturally insensitive not to leave a tip. Then some places you're not going to tip because, I don't have to tip at this place. Why? So it's all messed up. I wish that there was like a standard way of doing it, which I guess is what we have now. But I wish there was a clear way to move forward.
Yeah, but we also have, restaurants that, they put suggested tip at the bottom. A lot of restaurants have been doing service charges of 18%, 20% for their staff. So they're not even like, please, we don't have time to worry about whether or not you're going to tip. I've seen service charge, I've seen restaurant fees, I've seen they've got a bunch of different names in order to get these prices in here during the pandemic. But I think that there's I don't think it's ever going to go away. I think there are a lot of different ways that this can be done. It's a bunch of ways to skin a cat. Is that what they say?
It's just funny because you see other countries and they make it work. We should be able to do it too. But I digress. Yeah. Let's move on.
Okay. Well, an angry woman sent a heated letter to her noisy, sex-crazed neighbors after waking up at 12:30 to moaning and groaning. So the letter is savage, okay? But it also has some slight Karen undertones. Here's part of it, okay? Please close your windows when you have sex because it's not sexy at all. If this happens again, we will call in for noise control and we'll name and shame your address on the Facebook Neighborhoods News Group. That's part of the letter. So those are the Karen undertones that I'm talking about. Like, oh, you're just going to put my name on the... First of all, I care?
Right. Take out the word sex in this story. You put in music, put in kids, put in whatever you're doing, band practice. It's annoying when your neighbors are too loud, right? But don't you just have a human conversation with somebody? Walk downstairs, knock on the door, and be like, listen, sorry, trying to get some stuff done. It's really loud. Do you mind turning it down a little bit? Have that conversation, but just be like, listen, I can hear you guys bumping uglies. Can we please do this at a different time or find a way to make it, more workable for both of us? Have that conversation. Don't be threatening people. That's just stupid.
Sounds like jealousy to me. The only difference between this and like band practice or kids are like band practice takes like 45 minutes. This is quick. I don't know. I guess I don't know, but maybe it's not. It's like just deal with it. Like how often does this happen? I guess we don't know, right? Like if it's on the hour every hour or something like that, or it's every single night at this time for 45 minutes to an hour, sure. But yeah, I agree. I hate the leaving notes.
She doesn't have to send a threatening letter. Like that's the thing. She doesn't have to send this letter threatening these people to expose them. She also noted that there are recovering sex and porn addicts living in the flats. And I'm not making light of those people, but how does she know this, Karen? How do you know that, Karen? Did you do a survey of all the people in the neighborhood to see who could fit into that category? You don't know. So stop acting like you're in charge of everybody.
Or maybe the neighbors are them, and that's what she's trying to,
This is why I went and ahead and got my own home, because I'm tired of people trying to tell me what to do and live my life. Who put you in charge, Karen? Stop.
Let's get to Brandon.
Oh, Brandon.
All right, guys. Coming up, our Strong Women series continues with one of the realest voices on social media. Author Luvvie Ajayi Jones explains what it means to be a professional troublemaker. And no trouble from Krista Green. What's up?
Oh, that was way too nice, because I was about to call you a professional troublemaker, but I'll take it and I'll take that back.
I can see that. Yes, I'll accept.
Sorry. All right, but coming up in Hollywood headlines, I'm breaking down the British beat that has an infamous TV host looking for a new job. We'll be right back.
And welcome back, everybody. Next in our Strong Women series, she's a New York Times bestselling author, podcaster, and motivational speaker whose superpower is the side eye.
Yes, it is. We're talking about Chicago and Luvvie Ajayi Jones. Her second book, Professional Troublemaker, The Fear Factor Manual, was just released. And she joins us now to talk more about it and what it means to face your fear. Luvvie, thank you so much for being here. And let's start off with saying, just explaining, what is a professional troublemaker?
Well, thank you for having me. A professional troublemaker is somebody who is committed to disrupting what's not good, right? They are the people who will speak up in a meeting and say, maybe that idea is not that great. They're the people who will be at a dinner table when your uncle makes a bad joke and they'll go, that's not appropriate. They're the friend who says, let's have a tough conversation. They're necessary. Professional troublemakers are necessary in your life. You need them.
I gotta ask, is Meghan Markle a professional troublemaker, or was that forced on her?
No, she's absolutely a professional troublemaker. Her speaking her truth is the prime way you can know if somebody is a troublemaker. And hopefully her speaking her truth will inspire some change and hopefully will normalize somebody else's truth. So yes, she is a proud one.
I saw in one of your recent Instagram posts that you talked about hoping that this book helps loan courage to people who read it. Why loan courage? I found that really interesting.
Yes, loan and courage, because if I hand you some courage, it's me giving you what I have. And that doesn't mean I lose my courage. It means I am now giving you the power that you might not have had for yourself in that moment. It's a really important thing and why I wrote this book, because I'm surrounded by people who loan me courage every day, people who affirm me, who say, yes, you're supposed to do that thing that feels big. And I'm hoping that my words does that for somebody else who hears them, who reads them and says, got it. I can also do the hard things.
So who inspired you to be that professional troublemaker? And then how did they do that? What impact did they have on your life?
Yes, I talk about my grandmother, Fumilayo Faloyin. She's who I looked at growing up as a professional troublemaker. She was a woman who took up space without apology. She allowed herself to be celebrated. And she was really, truly herself in any room that she was in. And I didn't realize I was watching her this whole time and getting permission to be this bold woman from her. And I really realized that her life was, for me, a testament of powerful womanhood, fierce, but still soft. And she told the truth in the way that was most real to her. And she was deeply loved because of it.
I love the idea of professional troublemaker. I watched your TED talk about it. I was really inspired by a lot of those things. My question for you, though, is it doesn't mean abandon all strategic thinking, right? Like, I think that for a lot of people, they're in certain situations where they can't just every moment of every day at their job, at their life, spread that. I mean, you've got to be smart about how you do it, right?
Yeah, I mean, here's the thing is telling the truth is a moment by moment thing, but it's not about throwing bombs in a room. Being a professional troublemaker is not about being a contrarian. It's not about being a troll. It's about really trying to elevate the rooms that you're in. And one of the things that I like to offer to people is when you want to say something that feels tough, ask yourself 3 questions. If the answer is yes to all 3 in that moment, say it. The question is, do I mean it? Second question, can I defend it? Third question, can I say it thoughtfully? If the answer is yes to all 3, I think you're obligated to say it. And then you do it however it happens. But I really do think when we make it our responsibility to elevate the rooms that we're in and say these truths and say the things that have to be said, even if they are difficult for us, the world will be better for it. It will be less of a dumpster fire.
I had someone tell me once, get comfortable with being uncomfortable. Is that how you become a professional troublemaker?
Yes, you have to get comfortable with the fact that you're going to be afraid. You know, I want us to normalize feeling afraid. That's not bad. That doesn't mean you're weak. That means you're human. Now, what you have to do is when you're afraid and it's important, you choose courage, because you cannot have courage without fear first. So you just have to know, I will be afraid. It's going to make me feel weird. It's going to be a little bit anxious, but I still have to do this thing because that is what I have to do in this world to be an elevator.
I just want to make sure you were listening, John. So you said it's not about being a contrarian, okay?
Oh, come on now.
The devil,
Hold on.
let the record show. When people say, oh, I want to be devil's advocate, I'm always like, well, the devil didn't ask for a doula. So I'm not sure why we want to be an advocate for him. But
you hear that?
Like,
Man, okay. We got just a few seconds left before you go. I just wanted you to give us a tip of how you've made it through, because we see you on social media. I've seen you around town a few times. You always just have such an enlightening spirit. How have you made it past this last year?
Listen, by accepting the fact that sitting on my couch is actually a gift to let me recharge my batteries, and then understanding that I will be clearer out of all of this than I've ever been. So I'm hoping everybody is taking this moment, this scary time in our world, to know what is important. What do you stand for? What are you worth? What are you fighting for? Like, what's worth the courage that you have to now choose?
I love it. So inspirational. Luvvie, thank you so much for joining us. We really appreciate it.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah, snap, Luvvie. And you can follow her on Instagram and Twitter, and her book, Professional Troublemaker, The Fear Fighter Manual, is available now on Amazon.
Her virtual tour event is tonight at 7. It's featuring Brittany Packnett Cunningham. You can purchase tickets at professionaltroublemakerbook.com. John.
Well, we tied the record for the warmest March 9th ever in Chicago at 69 degrees. Still warm now. Let's take a look at the 7-day forecast. Brought to you by United Auto Insurance. Get your free quote, call, or click today. Some rain on the way. Still warm till the weekend. Brandon.
Sounds good to me. Not all heroes wear capes. After the break, I'm talking to the stars of Superman and Lois, the CW's new hit about how a regular woman still helps save the world. Well, the CW's hit new series, Superman and Lois, is not your typical superhero show. I sat down with the stars Tyler Hoechlin and Elizabeth Betsy Tulloch to talk about superpowers and which they could pick if they could have them.
When we were dreaming about having a family, it didn't look like this, did it?
Lois Lane, she doesn't have superpowers, so to speak.
She doesn't need them.
She doesn't need them. Who needs superpowers, right?
His companies prey on struggling communities. He busts.
But let's say she did. Let's say she had a superpower. What superpower would you like for her to have?
Well, she already has. She's tremendously smart. I like to say he's off saving the world with his, super speed and strength, and she's saving the world with words.
Thank you. Are you still at the bank?
Lois Lane embodies the aphorism, "Be the change you wish to see in the world." And she is really committed to truth and justice at any cost. She is uncompromising. She is determined. She is wonderful.
I love it. Might drop to that.
Yeah.
Having a Z formation. I love that. Okay, so Tyler, Superman obviously has a ton of powers, but there's some powers he doesn't have. If there was a power you could add to his arsenal, what would it be?
Does he need
quite
more?
a few there.
I don't want him to get a big head.
I mean, I would say if he could distribute, vaccines worldwide in a single go, that would be pretty awesome right now. I feel like that would be. I did make that answer to somebody the other day. I was like, yeah, that would be great. So that's probably the one right now. I'd say timely. That would be the one to wish for.
Vaccine production.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And you can watch Superman and Lois tonight at 8 p.m. on our sister station, CW26. We'll be right back.
Perfect. It's about that time. Let's get to today's headlines straight from Hollywood. First up, Piers Morgan is saying goodbye to Good Morning Britain. After his co-host criticized him for commentary on Prince Harry and Meghan Markle, he stormed off the set and later announced he's quitting. And months after flagging classic Disney flicks over racist portrayals, Disney Plus is making the move to drop some of these controversial titles. So kiddos under the age of 7, they will not be able to access Dumbo, Peter Pan, Swiss Family Robinson, and The Aristocrats. And The Queen's Gambit is becoming a musical. Level Forward is adapting Walter Tevis's novel, which then got turned into the popular Netflix limited series, and I binged it in about 3 days. I am stoked for this. I love musicals, and I love The Queen's Gambit.
I got to get into that one. I've heard so many good things about it too.
It's
No
good.
way.
I every time they take everything off TV and now make it into musicals. Let's get some original content here. Although I could picture like rooks and bishops and queens and kings.
Oh, no.
Here come the pawns
Thank God we
and
don't have
all
much
the
time
great
left.
rings.
Start the music!
Oh,
Start the music!
I'm impressed. I'm impressed. This is as close to pop
I was
culture as
leaning on
John
you for
gets.
that one, Don. I needed you there.
Thank you, Chris.
Woohoo! Take me out to the ball game. Woo! Take me out with the crowd. Like, seriously, open up. Like, I'm ready to go. Buy me some peanuts and Cracker Jacks and like 12 beers. I don't care if I ever get back. Like, really, let's play way more than 2. So let's root for the Cubbies. Or I guess the White Sox too. Like, they're coming back. That's great news. If they don't win, it's a shame. Can you let me in? Or it's 1, 2, 3 strikes, you're out at the old ball game. Woohoo! I just clicked my heels. Sorry, dude. Oh my God, I can see it. Woo!
Oh, I'm pumped.
So this is our rendition of Have You Seen This Man? If you've seen this man on the streets of Chicago, please call 1-800
or run.
I gotta say,
Yeah,
that was
tried-
yesterday. That was yesterday after they made the announcement, and there were a ton of people taking
Really?
pictures of the marquee, walking around. There was a certain
nice.
step and livelihood in the air. I was not the only one clicking my heels, Miss Felicia Lawrence. And that was an ode to Ron Santo, who used to do that when he ran onto the baseball field every day. So
Cute.
Go
Very
Cubs.
cute.
Nice.
Good job, John.
Thank you very much. All right, let's roll right into it. The royal family has responded, and I love what our producer said in our ear earlier, in all their brevity, so well put, to the Harry-Meghan interview. They say they're saddened to learn the full extent of the couple's difficulties. The issues of race are concerning. And they say they'll address the issues privately, but they do take them seriously. Is this enough, Amy?
Well, I do believe it's true because we said this yesterday. Listen, I think that family and that institution are 2 separate things. And I don't think either one always knows what the other one is doing. I think that the entity itself is in control of a lot of things with the Queen's approval, but there's a lot bigger people in the entity than there are necessarily in the immediate family there. So I understand that things probably get lost. Was that enough? I think it has to be for now, right? What else do you expect them to do? I mean, I hope to see from here going forward a whole heck of a lot more, but they had to put something out right away, and I don't think they had enough time to think it through.
I'm dissatisfied. So 2 things. On the personal level, I said this yesterday, she needs to get that family in one room. If they got to meet in Canada in the middle ground, they need to get in one room and fix your family. That should be a priority as the matriarch. You got people not talking to people. That is not okay in the family that I come from and the priority that it is in my family. And I know they got to put the country before yourself and yada, yada, yada. Get these people in a room, sit them down and get them on one page, okay? We need to stop making it so difficult and take out all these middlemen and get this family together. The second thing, they say the issues of race are concerning. And what else? It says address issues privately. I don't think that is enough at all. They have to be able to, because these issues of race are not just affecting them. It's running deep and affecting hundreds of years of that country, hundreds of years of our country. And the world is watching this entire institution, their words, this entire institution, and they could set a new tone. The fact that they plan on addressing the issues privately, issues of race, it's just, again, another missed opportunity. Get with it.
Yeah. Yeah, you said it all there. The only thing I'll add is the person that wrote that statement, they definitely got an A+ in their public relations class because that was well put in PR language.
Right. All right, guys. Some good news. The House will hold its final vote on the COVID relief plan tomorrow morning before unemployment. It goes to the president then later this week where he can sign it before unemployment aid programs run out this weekend. The $1.9 trillion package includes the direct payments we've been talking about for weeks now, expanded child care tax credits, vaccine funds, and state and local relief. But a lot of questions going around the White House today really was about the first dogs, one of whom, Major, caused a minor injury to a White House staffer yesterday. Major and Champ have since been sent to their home in Delaware while the First Lady is traveling this week. The injuries are said to be not super serious. Said that somebody kind of snuck up on him and the dogs are unfamiliar with the surroundings. So it doesn't seem to be all that serious, but still it's kind of like, be careful.
to say the least. Be careful. I don't think it's much of a story here. I will note, though, the first thing that popped in my head was like, dang, these dogs got on the private jet before me. How did they get to ride on the PJ before I did?
You gotta be adopted by a Biden.
Yeah, they know the right people.
What kind of caravan rides the dogs up to Delaware? Like, no, you know they got on the private jet.
Yeah, there was this one picture I saw a reporter took a picture of the dog bed just like outside in the alley, just like on its side, and everyone's like, oh, and I'm like, then they had to say, no, we're just airing it out a little bit. Everyone chill out. By the way, President Biden is speaking on Thursday night in his first primetime address. He'll be talking about COVID. I imagine the signing of this bill too. I bet they cannot wait to sign it. 1.9 trillion, nothing to shake your dog paw at.
Okay. Unless we ask him to in training.
Yes, exactly.
In training, Paul. Okay,
roll
guys.
over, vote Democrat. There you go.
Yeah.
Oh, there you go. That's better. There you go.
All right. Well, a viral tweet called out a project manager's very organized way of finding love. So she sends all her matches a Google form to test their compatibility. One of the guys she matched with tweeted out screenshots of the questions. So, of course, we had to see our favorite single man, Brandon Pope, would see how he would do. Okay, so let's review some of these responses. Okay, one of the first questions here is, what's your name and do you go to therapy? Brandon, do you go to therapy?
Responses were my actual name, and it was a no. Don't talk about my feelings. I guess.
You don't go to therapy or talk about feelings. Okay.
I didn't know how seriously to take this. I've gone to therapy before. I'm not a mess.
Okay.
So
you're lying already. Question 2, you're already lying. Got it.
Let's move on. Not doing so well yet, Brandon. Oxford, comma. Oh wait. What do we have? What's your job? Okay, we got your job, TV reporter, host. We can account for that here. And what would you do if money wasn't an issue?
Art.
Totally.
Oh,
Art. I grew up doing like comic books and doing music with my friends. So if I could do that for life, I totally would. But you make no money from it.
Let me just give you a quick tip here, Brandon. You should probably expound on these answers if this ever comes to you for a dating application.
Yeah.
Just
I thought you would have done a little bit better here.
I would never date anybody that sent me a form like this, so that wouldn't have to work.
Okay.
That's fair.
See,
that's fair.
This form is from a serious person. This is why I co-signed this form. This is from a serious person that knows what they want.
It's no different than a dating app. You put a lot of the stuff on there too. She's just asking you straight up.
No. I agree with Brandon. It sounds like one of the first questions about therapy sounds like she learned this from her therapist as like a way to get through relationships and stuff.
Right.
Nothing wrong with that, but I'm just saying.
I'd rather have these conversations in person than a form,
Yeah.
Okay. Well, it's a pandemic, so you got the form. Oxford, comma, yay or nay. He said, yes, I have taste. Good job. Good answer.
Yeah.
Good answer. And then there were a couple curveballs, just so you know. Which TV or movie character do you most identify? Batman. That's a good answer. Good answer. He was the only human superhero. And then we'll skip the potato one. He would be mashed. But do you own a bed frame?
That's a good question.
Or no? That's a really good question, because when you become a certain level, when you reach a certain age, you do not want to walk into a man's house and see a bed on the floor. And I'm happy that's a yes, Brandon. Good job.
Brandon. Good
You
job.
redeemed yourself.
Yes, I am
He's
an
a catch,
adult.
ladies. He's a catch.
Wait, that's it? That's all the questions?
That's it.
That's pretty much it. Yeah. We abbreviated it for you, John.
Oh, there you go. That's the real answer. There you go.
Yeah.
Sure.
I would not.
Okay.
I would never date this woman. Any woman that sends me a form, you are an insane person, and you don't know.
This would be me. Let's send the form. Let's get to the bottom
this is
of
crazy.
it.
Crazy
Why
time.
not?
Talk to him in person, FaceTime, text.
Oh, yeah,
Zoom.
be a human.
Yeah.
See, these people aren't serious, Amy. They're not going where we're going.
Oh, okay.
This ain't a job interview. This ain't a job interview. See, that's the
Yeah.
problem. That's
Personality.
Gotta be chill about
All
it.
right.
Staying mom on this one.
Yeah.
All right.
All right, coming up.
Amy didn't say she would not send it.
Okay, so I talked to my mom enough on the show, but later on it is her turn. She explains how she balanced raising 3 boys, a career, and pursuing dreams of her own. And here's a quick look at your 3-day forecast brought to you by United Auto Insurance. Get your free quote, call or click today. We'll be back. Well, she is an artist, a teacher, but to me, she's just mom. And when I think of inspiring strong women, she is at the top of the list. You're a wonderful mother. I know from experience. You've always been.
You have to say that, though.
I mean, I do. That is true. I mean, I cannot
Because
come on this
otherwise,
program. Yes.
otherwise I'll stop doing this stuff for free. Your dad has always said that the 80s are the lost decade because we had 3 boys under 6 at one point. We were both working full-time jobs. I was teaching high school art. He was a fireman paramedic. So our lives were pretty crazy. And I was working on a master's degree in fine arts. It's a lot of work. Ask Amy. The mess, the fights. And so there were times, I shouldn't really say this, but you know, you're human. I remember one time driving home and thinking, you know, if I just keep going, I'll be in Iowa and I don't have to deal with it.
Just keep
Sorry.
on driving. Yes.
But I think I was the kind of mom meant for boys. If you find that things are funny, it balances out. The joy is far more.
I'm not trying to date you because you look.
Don't date me.
I know. But like you kind of came of age when there, you know, women's liberation was like a big thing in the late 60s, early 70s when you were in college during that time. Were you swept up in that or were you not really much of a part of it?
Absolutely. You know, we burned our bras and
Did you burn
wear
a bra,
them.
Mom?
I certainly did. Maybe you shouldn't put that on TV.
Oh, no, we will. Don't worry. But like you were in college. I mean, you were,
Yeah.
you and Dad were kind of hippies together.
Yeah, we were. And it was a crazy time. It was just funny. It was never maybe I shouldn't say this. It was really never my dream to have children. You start to get around 30 and I worry that I would regret it.
You know, you probably had dreams of being a famous artist. I don't know, right? And then you talked about like maybe not having kids because that would be like a really rebellious thing for women at the time. And yet you did. So
I know.
do you regret it?
Oh my God, I don't regret anything. And I've in my lifetime been able to kind of balance a little bit of both. I mean, and I absolutely adored teaching.
Do you know how many students you taught?
I tried to figure it out one time now because I only got to 30 years of teaching.
Only 30 years. 'Cause you took a brief break to raise the three of us when you had
Yeah,
three.
yeah, yeah. But I figured it's about 8,000.
Wow.
They taught me a lot about parenting. A teacher thinks, oh, I'm going to mold these people. I'm going to like make them little images of me. But what you start to discover is that they come in their authentic self, and you're the one who needs to change, and you're the one who needs to help them find their path. I have so much to be grateful for. Look, I'm on TV.
You're not getting paid though. I'm sorry.
I know. It's gonna have to stop. No, I'm just
All right,
kidding.
Mom. I love you. Thank you.
All right, I love you too.
I'll see you
Bye,
soon.
Jonathan.
Oh, Jonathan. See, she's the only one that gets to call me that. My mom's a sweetheart, and it was nice to chat with her. But honestly, a strong woman, and she shouted you out, Amy, too. You're dealing with many of the same things.
Well, not going to school for my master's degree at the same time. Holy moly. I don't know how she did all that. I still don't even know how my mom did it, and she didn't do half as much as your mom did.
No, she's so sweet. She's always been so sweet. And I mean, clearly we
So
know
supportive.
she's a great lady just based off of you, John. So
yeah.
Well, that's sweet of you to say. I will say, she obviously can't choose your parents, right? And I definitely won whatever lottery, whoever set that up did.
Yes, you did.
But one thing that she did, I think, as a parent that I would advise anyone, I don't want to tell people how to be parents, but I just know this worked. And it really worked for me ultimately, is because she was always so open to everything. And as a kid, and as I entered a teenage years, we butted heads a lot. I was a talker. I complained a lot. And I also knew that I was gay, and I had no idea what that was going to be like. That was a very inward journey I took through those many years of being closeted. But my mom would always, I think they knew, and I think that she would leave these little hints that it was okay along the way. She never came out straight and asked it. Well, she did once when I was older. But she left all these little nuggets along the way that it would be okay. And I just no matter what, I would always advise parents just to always leave all doors open for your kids in whatever journey they may take, so that they know that they can talk to you when that moment comes. And when that moment came to finally tell them, we laughed. It was fine, and it was huge. But it was beautiful that she did that when I was growing up. Love you, Mom.
That's awesome. Beautiful.
That is awesome.
She's
Thank you
streaming
for
us in
sharing.
California right now. She's on vacation, vaccinated fully, and watching from San Diego the pool. So, hi, Mom.
I'm just tearing up.
I need
because
tips,
that is
Marcia.
truly, she does. We all need tips. But I'm just tearing up because that's just truly a beautiful story. That's just beautiful.
Yeah.
And it's extremely representative of a mother's love. Thank you for sharing her with us.
For sure.
Yeah, thanks, Jonathan. John
All
Nathan.
right, let's take a quick break, dry our eyes, wait for my mom to text me, a live look at the Whirly Ball Cam as we head to break.
Welcome back, everybody. Last year, we met a woman named Michelle who shared how Kara helped dress for success to land a new job.
A year later, she reflects on how Kara's support kept her stable throughout the pandemic.
Well, last year has been ups and downs like everybody. You know, I went to the interview and got the job, which was fantastic. You know, through the transformation classes with Kara, the clothes that I received really gave me the confidence to nail that job. And I was very happy in that position, although, you know, it was about 8 months later, I faced what many people faced with having our future turn a little upside down and had a reduction in staffing. Immediately let them know. They jumped back in and said, here's some temporary jobs. So November 8th was my last day with Chicago Cares, which I adore. And November 9th, Kara had me at Erie Health. And so I never skipped a beat. And I'm happy to say that I'm back at Chicago Cares and worked with Kara the entire way up to that. They were able to help me in that transition period. So yeah, I can't be more pleased.
Great work they're doing. So this year, we are partnering again with Kara and CD1 Price to collect work attire to help Chicagoans get back on their feet. Log on to cw26chicago.com for details on how to donate. We'll be right back.
Damn, we should have made.
All right, time for a deep dish. And some of us have been cooped up with our significant others for almost about a year now, and it's probably time to shake up the Netflix and chill routine. So Cosmo put out a list of date nights that don't involve binge watching something on Netflix. So tell me what you think of these right here. One thing they suggest is taking the love language test and comparing results. Good idea.
No.
Would you do that?
No.
Yeah.
What is it? Like the love language test? We ain't
It's
taking
like,
no
you know,
test. We already passed the test.
Words of
there,
affirmation,
done that.
physical touch. Yeah.
Wait, what?
That was
You've
like-
done the test?
Yeah, like maybe the second or third week of my now boyfriend and I talking. We took that test together. Of course, I got to know someone's love language.
What is a love language?
Well, I
It's
get this because I
send you the link.
It's what makes you feel like someone loves you. Because like for some people it's like physical touch. For other people it's like doing nice things for them. For other people it's like good conversation. That's how people equate love. And so some people it's different for others. That makes sense.
So you got to take the test to know.
Yeah.
Yes, indeed.
We're
Here's another
too
one.
far in now. So go.
Let's get to another one here. Practicing fake apologies so you know what works when you actually have a fight. That could actually come in handy. Yeah.
What?
Yeah.
What is
Why?
this?
What's the point of doing something like that?
No.
It's constructive, you know. When you do have a fight, you have fake apologies. Hey, it's Cosmo. I don't read Cosmo. I'm just telling you what they say. All right. Next up. This is actually cool. Play a little Spotify game. I love Spotify. So you give your partner a prompt like, play me a song that reminds you of me, and then you listen to that song together. You go back and forth with different prompts and songs until you learn a little something about each other. I think it's cool, especially if you're both music lovers. That's probably a really good idea.
We watch music videos alternating, but like, why do you have to make it mushy? Like, tell me what, like, why does it always have to be mushy?
Well, you can make
my
up
husband
prompts,
listens
Don.
Yeah, and my husband listens to all these crazy indie bands that I don't like, so then I gotta listen to more of his weird music.
This sounds like a new couple. Like, what are you supposed to do when you've done all of this, or you're, 5, 10, 15 years in? Like, what's the advice for then?
Yeah.
There are some more suggestions. There are some more suggestions.
Go ahead.
You could learn a TikTok dance together. That could be fun. A lot of couples do that.
We do that.
Wait, Krista wrote this article.
Do. That's their bond.
Krista sidelines for Cosmo. She wrote this. I'm pretty convinced.
No, my boyfriend and I actually just started a joint TikTok account that these TikToks are for the both of us.
Wait.
A
joint account? I told you, no couple alert. This is only for a new couple. And I hate people that have joint social media accounts. Like, you're not your own individual person. You can't just get your own account.
Oh my goodness.
We have them. Y'all don't know because you're not on TikTok.
Give me
you're
one
on
more bad
TikTok
one,
and you'll
Brandon.
understand.
She said, y'all don't know.
All right, here's another one. I'm going to run through some of these because we're running out of time. You can read to each other. That sounds kind of boring.
Nope.
Read the same book and talk about it like a book club.
Nope. Okay. That would be cute. He's never going to do that, though.
You can give each other hand massages. Ooh, okay.
Oh, I like that.
Sure.
Watch a virtual concert. You can watch a
Boy,
virtual
I'd
concert.
rather Netflix than any of these things. I don't even need the chill part.
Hey, their
I don't
final
even need
suggestion.
it.
Their final suggestion. You could just have sex. There you go.
See you tomorrow.
Bye.